there, friends. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Monica. Now, we've heard of basketball coaches, football coaches, life coaches, but today we have a career coach. So I don't want you to go away. You need to see this show. So we'll see you right back here on Coffee with Monica.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If your home was built before 1978, it could contain harmful lead paint. Learn the danger zones. Protect your kids. Visit leadfreekids.org.
Welcome back to the show, and today we are graced with Mrs. Candice Jones, and she is our career coach for today. Candice, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh man, you had to come. See, I'm a purpose coach, and you're a career coach.
That's right.
Two coaches together, we can get something done.
That's right. I hear you.
But I want you to start off by sharing with our viewers what it is that you do on a day-to-day basis.
I am a career coach, and I work at Watson Chapel High School. But it's important for viewers to know that all schools in Jefferson County have been assigned career coaches.
Okay.
And all that falls under the Arkansas Works Initiative, which started by Governor Beebe. It's an effort to create a more educated workforce.
Okay.
We are not counselors, but we are an extension of the counselor's office. We're there, in essence, to kind of make everyone's job easier.
Okay.
We help students develop a plan beyond high school. Every student, there's a resource, there's something for every student. Every school in Jefferson County has these resources for students to tap into so that they can plan a better future.
Wow.
We assist students with ACT registration, we assist them with planning for college, arranging appointments with recruiters, resume review, and just motivating them.
Wow.
Sometimes it's a student not knowing all the resources that are available to him or her, and just letting them know this is something for you. This is possible. Getting them to see the possibilities so that they can go above and beyond where they are.
Right. And your life speaks of this. This is not just a job. This is not just a career for you. Your life speaks of what it is you're doing with these students. And when I read your bio, I read it over and over, and I'm just like, oh, your life speaks purpose. And I want to talk about where you began and how you got to this point, because I think it's important for people to understand, regardless of your background or how you started, you can accomplish your goals and you can accomplish your dreams. So let's talk about how you started.
How I started, how far back do you know?
Let's go back to that story in
I'm not
Brinkley.
very old, you know.
Neither one of us are. We're holding strong. Let's go back to Brinkley.
Okay, Monica. I grew up, my first 6 or 7 years, I grew up in a housing project in Brinkley, Arkansas. And automatically when a person thinks of, well, somebody coming out of a housing project, your life is already, you're already placed in a box.
Yeah.
But my mom decided that she would take us out of a dysfunctional environment, and she landed here in Pine Bluff. She decided to go back to school. Her and my oldest sister, once my oldest sister graduated high school in Brinkley, Arkansas, they decided to attend college here at UAPB together.
Wow.
And they graduated together the same day. And so what that did, that literally changed the course of my life. It changed the direction that I would have gone in.
Yeah.
Because we become products of our environment.
Right.
So by my mom making the decision to leave a dysfunctional family, because my dad, he wasn't where he should have been, it was just not a good situation. So my mom decided to take us out of it. And we landed here in Pine Bluff. She went to school 4 years, graduated 4 years later. She became a teacher, and she taught for over 25 years.
Wow.
And she just recently retired.
Wow.
Just recently retired. But that put my life on a totally different path. I began to see the value in education, the value in not just in getting an education and that being it, but also just becoming a lifelong learner and being able to share my story with single parents or women or girls who may feel, well, there's nothing I can do, there's nothing available, there are no resources available. Keep in mind, this was in the 80s when, women have access to so many more resources this day and time. If they want to continue their education, there are all types of financial aid programs available.
Absolutely.
Because when you get an education, you become empowered.
Right.
It empowers you. You can take it anywhere with you. Once you have your degree, you can take it anywhere with you, and it can open so many doors.
Right.
And I'm just so happy to be able to
to do that. And you know, I like what you said about the resources that are available for women and for viewers that are watching. This message is not just for high schoolers. It's not just for those that are in their 20s. Education is available to all ages.
All ages. It's possible. It's possible. Whatever you're thinking, whatever it is you're wanting to do, start asking around. There's so many free resources. The Pine Bluff is such a great community.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many great things going on here. We have 2 great schools. We have the University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and we have Southeast Arkansas College.
Right.
And there are so many great people on those campuses who are willing. They are so willing to be able to sit down and talk to anyone in the community about the resources that are available on their campus.
Right, right. So how is this initiative working? I mean, do you have great statistics as far as the outcome, or are we still looking at the data? How is it going so far?
Initially, the data looks good. The data looks good. This is a 3-year pilot program. So at the end, you know, they're going to compile the data. There is a legislative process for them to be able to look for permanent funding.
Okay.
So, you know, we're keeping our fingers crossed. We're very hopeful.
Yeah.
But under the Arkansas Works initiative, we are just very, I have to edit this part. We are just very, we're very excited about all the possibilities that are tied in with it, because we believe that it's going to make for a more successful and more educated, a more prepared workforce for the jobs of the 21st century, because that's a big issue now. It's not that there aren't jobs available. Yeah. There are not enough people who have the skill set to fill those positions. And I appreciate the visionary of Arkansas, Governor Mike Beebe's workforce initiative of his workforce cabinet to see the need for this program. Not only just having career coaches in the schools, but having career coaches at local Department of Workforce Services who are also providing services to members of the community, so that they can go in and get job training, to have their resume developed so that they can submit a proper resume for a job. And so there are just so many benefits to this program. And
I'm excited about it too. Now, when we come back, we want to talk a little bit more about this initiative and how you got involved in it. So can we talk about that when we come back?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Don't go away. We're going to find out more about how Candice was offered this wonderful opportunity. So don't go away. We'll be right back on Coffee with Monica.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
Welcome back to the show. We are here with career coach Candice Jones, and she's sharing some wonderful information with us. Now, we talk about this initiative that Governor Beebe implemented. And I thought it was interesting when I looked at the numbers. There were only 41 people that were selected to do this, and you're one out of 41. Can you tell us about the selection process? How did you connect with this program?
Well, we found out that,
you can't remember?
This escapes me. The way that this program came about, of course, Governor Beebe had a meeting with his workforce cabinet back in, I think it was 2004, 2006. But as a result, they decided to, as a part of the Arkansas Works initiative, they decided to add a component where career coaches would get placed in high schools in 21 of the most economically disadvantaged counties in the state of Arkansas. With Jefferson County being one of those positions, there was a need for career coaches in every school district.
Wow.
Okay. And so once I found out about the position, because prior to that, I was working here at UAPB.
Right.
And I had a wonderful job as Assistant Director of Cooperative Education over in the Office of Career Services. I've got to give a shout out to Miss Mary Jones, Miss Shirley Cherry, Miss Ernestine McLaughlin, and Miss Wells, because I really believe that position prepared me for becoming a career coach. And so that's just kind of put it in a nutshell. That's how I of course I had to interview for the job. And the counselors, high school counselors in the area, I believe some superintendents were involved. They were all a part of the hiring committee. And so we had to go in and interview with them so that they could decide whether or not we were going to be a good fit for their schools. And As I said before, there are career coaches in every school in Jefferson County.
Wow.
And you can feel free to go. I encourage you, parents, students, please go by and visit with your career coaches at Pine Bluff High School, Watson Chapel High School, Dalloway High School, and Whitehall High School.
Wow. And you know, I don't think many parents are aware that we have career coaches in our schools.
Yes, we are there, and we are willing to help. We are willing to share information on getting your student registered for the ACT.
Yeah.
How does your student sign up for the lottery scholarship?
Right.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
How can I get my child started on their financial aid process early? These are all things that the career coaches and the guidance counselors will be willing to help you with. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone, contact your school that your child is in, and ask those questions.
Right.
And if there's something that your career coach doesn't know, I can guarantee you that they're going to find out.
Wow.
They're going to find out, and they're going to get back with the parents so that the parent can sit down with their child and help make a successful plan, because that's what it's all about.
It's about planning.
It's all about having a plan. You've heard it said before, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Right.
And so we are there to make sure that they have an intentional plan in place and that they know the steps to follow.
Right.
Because it can be a very confusing time, especially with high school seniors.
Right.
You know, feeling out, what college should I go to? What are the admission requirements? When can I schedule a visit? These are all things that we would love, as career coaches, we love talking to
I
parents
bet you
about.
do.
We love talking with counselors about. We love talking to students about. So make the best use of your career coach.
Right. Now let me ask you this. Is it just for high school seniors?
No, our services are available. We deal, depending on the district. I know at Watson Chapel High School, we meet with 8th through 12th graders.
Oh, that's good. That's
We meet with 8th
good.
through 12th
That's
graders.
good.
And the career orientation teachers are great because they invite us to come and help assist with four-year planning, assist with career assessments, and that just gives us an opportunity to see these kids so they'll know who we are.
Right.
And, you know, there are days when I'm walking down the hall and it's like, hey, Miss Jones, hey, career coach.
Oh.
And so it's a very rewarding position, and I really enjoy it.
Well, you know, there was something that I was reading about you that struck me, and I went back over it and I read it again because I see the end result. I see what you have become, and you're being successful at what you do, but there was a portion in there where I believe it was, when you had this job, I think we're going into the Made for More.
Okay.
And remember, you had this job, and then you ended up losing the job. We need to talk about that because the show's about all things purpose.
Yes.
And so when we're going into our purpose, we know that there are challenges along the way.
Definitely.
Can we talk about that?
We can. I'd love to talk about that. Years ago, I lived in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I had just graduated college. I didn't have I didn't have a job, but once I got a job, it wasn't the best job. It was a low-wage job at a factory. It was hot. And there's dignity in all labor. I don't want ever want anyone to think that there was something wrong with the job. But I felt like, okay, God, you've got something more, and there's got to be more in store. And so at the church I was attending at the time, I heard a message called Made for More. And one of the takeaways for me is that, pray for divine appointments or divine encounters.
Oh, wow.
And so I just began to walk in that and believe that. And I would say maybe not the same day, but the day after, I met someone who was, she was the wife of the Vice President of Human Resources for ASU. And she asked me what I was doing now, and I told her, and she says, well, you need to go and meet with my husband, who's the Vice President of Human Resources. Just let him know what you're doing, because I think there may be something available. And so I did. I followed her instruction, and I knew this was the Lord.
Yeah.
And so I followed her instruction. I met with him. Nothing came of it initially. During the same time, I had the opportunity to attend the Leading Ladies Conference in Dallas, Texas, T.D. Jakes, and awesome conference. It was an awesome conference. I had so many great takeaways from that. But when I got back to Jonesboro and I went back to my job, the low-wage job, I got fired.
Wow.
I got fired, and I was like, okay, God, that's what you meant.
It's like, I made for more, but I lost my job.
I lost my job. And so initially I was very discouraged, but I was like, well, no, I'm just gonna keep believing. I'm gonna keep walking in this. And so maybe a week or so later,
Ooh, wait a minute. I'm going to cut you off because we're going to go to break. I want to keep them holding on the edge of their seat to hear what happened next, because it's great what happened next. Whew, okay. Don't go away. We're going to hear what happened after she was motivated and inspired and she got back and she lost her job. So we're going to come back and find out what happened. So don't go away. We'll be right back on Coffee with Monica.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to the show. We're not going to wait another moment. So you're excited about this conference that you've gone to. You've been to Made for More, and you're just raring to get back, and we're just going to do this thing. And you got back home, and they said,
you're fired.
You're fired.
From my job. And keep in mind, I had just purchased a new vehicle, and all of a sudden, I began to panic. But the peace of God that surpasses all understanding just began to walk. And I was like, well, I'm not going to even worry about this. And so maybe a month, maybe a few weeks later, I wouldn't say a month, ASU called me. And they called me for an interview. And I went in for the interview, and I got the job. And my salary doubled.
Wow.
My salary doubled. And I was just, it's just a testimony to people. To not give up. To not give up, just to keep moving forward. Educate yourselves. When I say education, I don't mean just a 2-year degree or 4-year degree. Whatever's going to fit you, where you are in your life.
That's right.
Free online program. There are programs, there are books, there are online classes. There's if you want to go the traditional route to go to attend class on a campus, financial aid is available.
Yes.
I know there are some wonderful people here at the financial aid office here at UAPB, as well as CRT, who'll be more than willing to come in and talk to you about developing a plan to help you pay for your college.
Right, and we need that.
We definitely
need that.
We definitely
now, there was something that you're really passionate about, and that's becoming a lifelong learner. Let's talk about that. Why are you so passionate about that particular thing, becoming a lifelong learner?
Well, you know as well as I know that we live in an information age. Knowledge is power. Knowledge. We live in a knowledge age, and having the right knowledge and the ability to apply it is so important.
Yes.
You may know people who may not have used a computer or ever used a computer in 5 or 10 years. You ask them to go on the internet to search for something, and it's like, you're speaking Japanese.
Right.
So when you continue to seek after knowledge, always equipping yourself, you're going to be prepared.
Absolutely.
Knowledge makes us better people. It makes us more efficient learners. It makes us more successful. We are better communicators. And it helps us to understand each other more. Without knowledge, I believe we limit ourselves. We put ourselves in this box. We can limit and hinder the purpose and plan of God for our lives if we're not seeking that knowledge.
Wow, wow, I love it. I love the message of learning to become a lifelong learner, because in life things change. Things are evolving all of the time. And if we're not positioning ourselves to understand or gain the knowledge, the know-how to carry on in the evolution, we're going to be lost.
That's right.
We're going to be lost. Let me ask you this, Candice. What's the next thing for Candice Jones?
What is the next thing for me? I love to be able to motivate people, to get them to see the more that's in store. Getting them to realize that you just don't have to stop here. Even whether you may have a master's degree, you may have a PhD, but still continuing to go on. But my heart is really for people who may not have hope. Yeah. To be able to instill hope, to say, hey, look, this is where I started, but this is where I am now, and I'm in a great place. But look, there's going to be so much more to this story, and just like it's my story can be your story. Right. So just motivating people, getting people to see the bigger plan, the bigger purpose of God in their lives.
Where does one start?
Oh gosh, where do you start? Well, where I would start is with what you feel like. You would start with what's in your heart. You pray about it, of course. Sometimes you don't know, because for a long time I wasn't sure, what my purpose is, and it's still unfolding.
Oh yeah,
it's still unfolding. So I wasn't sure, so I began to just ask God, well, God, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And I believe that what I'm doing now, is, this is part of my purpose.
Wow.
It's not. I'm not always going to be a career coach, but I'm always going to be serving people, motivating people, getting people to see that life is so much more than just going to work.
Absolutely.
Life is about being able to help other people. Because when you're serving others, you're just fulfilling something in yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So.
And your energy is so contagious. I don't think I've ever come across you at a time where you were kind of like, oh, what was me? And I love that energy. And that energy, I believe, is going to play in the success of those that you're serving at the school and outside of the school. Now, tell me about this master's degree. You're holding back on me today.
Well, I'm not done with my master's degree.
You're working on that?
9 hours short.
Wow.
And if I had listened to my mother, I'd be done by now. But life happens. Life happens. I started pursuing my master's in political science at ASU.
Okay.
And then I met this wonderful man named Paul Jones. Hey, honey. and so that kind of put things on hold for a while, because I found myself here in Pine Bluff taking courses at ULR as well as ASU. But I'm only 9 hours short.
Wow.
9 hours shy. But if I had listened to my mother, I'd be done by now.
Mama knows this.
Yeah, mother knows this. And the older I get, and I'm not that old, the smarter my mother is.
Isn't that
amazing.
something?
It's
it's just funny how that happens.
She encouraged me years ago. She says, go ahead and finish it now. But I just kind of drug my feet. I did. I drug my feet. But I'm still motivated. I'm still motivated to get it done and then go beyond that, because I do see myself getting a master's in educational leadership after I'm done with this.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, here's what I'd love for you to do. Could you look into that camera there and share with our viewers your words to live by?
Okay, my words to live by is to realize that you are made for more. And if you commit yourself to becoming a lifelong learner, the possibilities are endless.
Beautiful, beautifully said. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about all the wonderful things that you're going to do, because I know this is just really the beginning of your life.
Yes.
So there's more that's going to be unfolded. I want to thank you for coming on Coffee with Monica today.
Well, thank you for having me.
We appreciate you. All right, don't go away. We're going to come back with Purpose Moments right here on Coffee with Monica.
Do your part. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank today.
Welcome back to Purpose Moments. Miss Candice Jones inspired me, and I hope she inspired you as well, to become a lifelong learner. There's so much that we can learn in this scheme of things, in this thing called life, and we should never get to a point in our lives where we stop learning. Things are changing, things are evolving all of the time. And especially this is important to you, for you entrepreneurs. In your business, things are changing, and we have to keep up with the changes. Get yourself in an online program. Come to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Go to CART. Go where you need to go to prepare yourself for things that are changing in our world. You can actually be the trailblazer or invent or create that next thing that's going to get us to the next level. So I'm inspired to become a lifelong learner, and I want to inspire you to do the same thing. Those of you who have decided to put your education on hold, put your purpose on hold, I want to light a fire up under you and say, choose this day life and become that thing that you have been purposed to be. Wow. So here's what I want you to do before we go. Go out to the website at www.coffeewithmonicashow.com. Email me your comments and suggestions and maybe some show ideas at monica@coffeewithmonicashow.com. And as always, be blessed, and thanks for having Coffee with Monica.